Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be a live trade video where I try to capture some of my trades as they play out live. Market opens up here in less than 5 minutes, so we'll see what happens. All right, thinking about potentially shorting BABA on a break of 203 if it looks like it wants to get down there and break it. So in at 203. Going to pick up the quick $56. Not bad for only 100 shares. And now it's bouncing up here a little bit. So nice opening trade. Let's see what else I can find. All right, watching Roku here for a potential, or not Roku, mRNA for a potential break of 69.75. So I want to try to see if it looks like it might want to get up through there. It's working its way. I'll keep an eye on it. Well, I turned my back for a second. I was looking at Roku here, wondering about it. And in the time when I was looking at Roku, wondering about it, it snapped up above that level. Whoops. It snapped up above that level and left me in its dust. So in the world of day trading, especially when you're using 1 and 2 minute time frames, it literally just takes you glancing away from something for even just 2 seconds. Like I said, totally missed that breakout. But on the plus side of things, I was alerted to the chat room. So that's good at least. So hopefully some members took advantage of it. But yeah, I missed out on that. I have an order at 110.85 here on Roku. That move went up as high as 110.73. So close, but not close enough. And now it seems to be pulling back some. All right, well, never mind. Wow, BA, Boeing, a total gap and trap. Started off nice, pulled back, came out, or came upwards looking like it might have wanted to have broken out, and then from that point, just straight down. And INO has just been bleeding all day too. Or not necessarily all day. The market's been open for 14 minutes, but yeah, this one just slowly sinking downwards. What's BABA up to? What is that? 201.25 to about $100 risk right there if I wanted to take it. See, I'm willing to take that $100 risk. Want to see it try to get down closer to 201.25 though. Let me get this alerted in the room. Let me double check. What is that right there? Yeah. There we go. So let's see if it wants to move down here some. So I'm in. Let's see if we can get some movement to the downside now and have this thing roll over. So I have a stop loss at 202.31. So yeah, right around $100 I'm risking, but let's see if we can get this to move down through. 201 is going to be that first key level that will need to be broken. So it's trying to get down to 201. So there we go. Let's see if we can get some more downside pressure. So 50 shares left now. So this will be a winning trade no matter what. No. Dang it. Stop, Clay. Should have been a stop. Well, I was supposed to change that to stop. I clearly forgot, put a limit order in there, and took myself out of the trade oh well. So moral of the story there, nice little learning lesson. Be sure to check the type of trade you want to do. Like I said, that was supposed to be a stop loss. So what I forgot to do was click right there and then select stop. So that's why it took me out where it did. And then watch this thing just bleed into oblivion. That's all right. SNDX, what's going on here? Oh, all right. Let me get this alerted here. SNDX. So let's see, just getting that alerted over there in the chat room. How about on the volume's kind of sketchy on it. All right, well, there we go. Up $100. Not too bad for just doing 100 share lots. So by no means do you need to go out there and use massive amounts of money. I mean, this is just playing 100 shares. All right, I'm going to go here and get short at 137.50 here on Boeing, risking about $100. So I could potentially give back the gains on the day, but I'm not really worried about that. For context sake, it's a Friday. It's been a very, very nice week. It's been a green week. So even if I end up, right around basically nothing on a Friday, that's okay. Now, I'm certainly not going to risk putting myself deep into the red or something like that. So I'm not going to go that far. But, even if, like I said, the 100 or I take the max loss here. So here we go. See, I'm changing this to stop. That's what I want. But my point is, even if this doesn't quite work out, what I'm thinking and what I'm wanting is, I think that the SPY wants to roll over. So my thinking is, if this pulls back here, then Boeing should follow, which, yeah, so far so good. So let's see this come down some more, SPY. Would love to see the markets roll over some. And if that can happen, I mean, Boeing's already moving down on its own right. See how these are very nice. Come on down, markets. There you go. So that's what I like to see. Let me actually get this out of the way. We'll take off. Let's see, what is that? I think it can get down below lows. Maybe I'm just being a greedy savage here. I don't know. But let's see if it can get down through 137. There we go. And then even get down through those lows. Can we get the break? Yes, we can. So 50 shares left now. So now it's just a matter of how much money am I going to make. Whoops, 137.26. Let me get that stop. So there we go. Double checking stop. I don't want to take myself out falsely. But now, worst case, I'm making 26 bucks on my remaining shares. And that's where you want to be as a trader. You want to be in these positions where literally the only stress I have in the world is, how much money am I going to make? I mean, how nice is that? Where literally my only concern is, how much money am I going to make? Let's see what's going on with the SPY. See, look at that. SPY came down just like I was hoping. And this is why Boeing is behaving oh so nicely. But come on, get back down. Don't bounce, Boeing. Oh, looks like I might get stopped out. Out. So still made right there. 47 bucks. I know, I get it. Clay, in hindsight, and I should note, I agree with you. Why didn't you do your usual 500 shares? That would have been an awesome trade. You're absolutely right. But as I explained going into the trade, I was up $100. If I was wrong, it was going to cost me $100. But it didn't. So that's why just 100 bucks, or excuse me, 100 shares, because that's what I was willing to risk. I explained that all going in. But I agree. I should have done 500 shares. But that's the thing with real life trading. Good old hindsight. But the learning lesson there is, well, Clay, but that doesn't make sense. You risked $100, but yet you only made $50. If you're thinking that's okay. Be honest with yourself. But that would be a milestone marker that tells you that you have some understanding that you need to realize about the market. What do I mean by that? Well, keep in mind, I still had shares left. So had Boeing gone in my favor, then that could have gone to $75, then to $100, and then to $150, and then to theoretically it could have gone to infinity, right? Because I still had shares left in the position. So yes, I get it. I got stopped out because this, dirty dog decided to bounce on me here. So I only got $50. But you have to keep in mind, and like I said, that this is where, if I were to ask you, do you truly understand trade management? Well, you don't understand it if you're saying, well, Clay, I can't believe you just risked $100 to make $47. Then to be blunt, but I say this because I want you to learn, you don't understand trade management, because trade management was I still had shares left, and had it gone in my favor, then yeah, that number there could have been who knows how big. It could have gotten well above $100, which at that point would have been more than what I was risking. And I don't mean to repeat myself, but that's something I see all the time. People look at just the end gain and they say, so the end gain, but that doesn't make sense compared to what you're risking. Well, yeah, but had the price continue to go in my favor, then that could have been even bigger than what it actually was. But so again, in all actuality, I don't want to say I'm fooling around, because that makes it sound like I'm just here for fun and gambling, which I'm not doing, because all these trades have been, based on setups, have been based on multiple things. And not to sound arrogant, but I'm 3 for 3. So it's not like I'm just randomly throwing stuff around and guessing. But like I said, I am kind of messing around in the sense of just doing these 100 shares. But like I said, it's Friday. I don't want to do anything stupid where it puts a dent into my week, which has been perfectly fine. But at the same time, I'm still wanting to trade and take setups. But it's always, and you know what, if this was a Friday where I was, just almost wanting to get back to the green, then I could see myself doing some 500 share lots, because at that point it's like, okay, it's either going to be a green week or it's going to be a little bit more of a red week. So, it really is a case-by-case situation and how you should be managing trades. And maybe you think I'm crazy. Maybe you're like, Clay, I don't care. I'd still be going even more and more. Well, if that works for you, that's awesome. But personal risk tolerance, that's what personal risk tolerance is all about. You just got to figure out, where you stand. And for me, my comfort level is I'm green on the week. I still want to trade if there's a good setup, and there's been so far 3 good setups, and I've taken them, but I'm not perfect. Maybe they're not that good of setups, and I could have been wrong. Hence the risk management via just the low position size. But let's also keep things in perspective. I made $148 in 30 minutes sitting at home. So when you look at it like that, I'm happy with $150 for 30 minutes working at home in my underwear. And Boeing, actually that makes me feel good, because I was going to wondering, should I keep my stop loss up above 137.51, and the high of that candle went up to hit 137.56. So yeah, if I'm being honest with myself, that little move right there would have still taken me out right up there at the top before rolling back over. So that would have actually been that much more frustrating. Well, JD, let's not talk right now, Clay. Whoops. Let's bring up JD here. Interesting. Now, I am doing 500 shares on JD because this is a $50 stock. So a little bit, much different than what it would be when you're trading, $200 stock or $100 stock. So looking to go short up there at 51.45 if it can get up there. But I'm probably just going to wrap it up, call it a day, go start my weekend early. It's Memorial Day, so today's not Memorial Day. You know what I mean, Memorial Day weekend. So maybe I'll just start things early. But I'm happy. Making money, taking good setups, managing trades, minus the one where I forgot to change the stop loss. And hopefully I'm kind of inspiring you that you don't have to be out here throwing around and doing thousands of shares at a time. You don't even have to be doing 500 shares at a time. This was all done using 100 shares. And to keep that in perspective, let's see what the most expensive stock I traded was 203. So let me make sure my math is right here. But 203 times 100. So that required $20,300 of buying power. But let's think about this. From a margin account perspective, if you have 4 times margin, meaning for every dollar you put in, you'll get 4, then that means you could have taken that trade. You could have done that exact same trade with a $5,000 account, right? $5,000 times 4 times margin is the $20,000 or is $20,000, and that was slightly above there. So like I said, this is not some sort of trading that's being done with, oh man, well, this guy's got like $50,000, $70,000, $100,000 in his account. No, that the requirement for that trade, $20,000. And again, when you factor in margin and leverage, that means, I mean, if you got around 5,000, and I mean, you could step this even down. The Boeing trade I took, right there, or excuse me, the Boeing trade, 137. So that's basically a $13,000 account. So at that point, you're looking at, well, I mean, do you have $3,000 in your account? I mean, if you get more than 4-to-1 margin, you'd even need less cash. And yet, good money is still being made. And money is all relative, meaning, am I going out shopping for my my Porsche this afternoon with that amount? No, I'm not. But don't forget about the time element. Don't forget about the lifestyle element. What do I mean by lifestyle? Lifestyle is in, I'm working from home. I'm in my office. I'm, sitting here in very, very comfortable clothes. I rolled out of bed. So that's the lifestyle, just the freedom aspect. But then don't forget about the time aspect. $150 in 30 minutes. I mean, I don't know many other places in the world where you can make $150 in 30 minutes working from home, pressing buttons. So don't lose sight of that. And I suppose I'm probably talking to myself when I go through that, just because I get it. I'm just like anybody else. I go through social media and I see people posting massive numbers, and then it makes me second guess myself, like, man, Clay, you're just not that good of a trader. Like, what are you doing? Maybe you need to start to scale up, or maybe, and you start to doubt yourself. But what I've always found to be the case, since I've been doing this, since 2006, I think, is, you got to keep things in perspective. And the perspective is not necessarily the numbers. Now, yes, numbers matter, because if you're just losing all the time, those numbers matter. But the numbers matter in the sense of the lifestyle, working from home, being your own boss, and just the time aspect. I mean, it's crazy. $150 in 30 minutes. I think I've stalled long enough. But yes, JD, it is totally rolling back over, so never mind. All right, I think Nvidia wants to get up through 363, excuse me. So there's the break. Let's see some momentum here now. Come on, Nvidia. All right, well, I'm just going to take my 27 bucks. I wanted more of a clean break, and it still very well may go. But given that was such a significant area right there, I thought it would definitely go a lot stronger than what it did. Like I said, it still very well may go, but that was a very key technical point. And to see the break and to have it move, but not quite move that much, like I said, just didn't feel comfortable with it. So again, 100 shares, nothing big, 27 bucks. Have an order at 65.35 to get short. It needs to break 65 first off, but the break needs to be very, very quick. So I'm not going to sit here and wait for the next 10 minutes for it to get up to 65.35. Like I said, it needs to break 65, and it needs to move up very, very quick. But yeah, step one within that whole process would just be getting above 65. So we'll see if that can even happen. All right, it's working its way back up to 65. As would be expected, lots of sellers up there. So once again, rejected. All right, I will pause. All right, well, it's working its way up there again. There's the break. Nice, I'm in. So let's see what this one wants to do. So we'll see if this wants to pull back some, even get down. Nice, got the $50 there. So I'm glad I canceled that order out. I was thinking about just doing 30 because it didn't quite behave like I wanted it to, but it did ultimately. But I need to stop talking because this is a great move. Let's see. High there is 65, 66. Let's go 66.45. So if it wants to work its way back up there and stay very, very overextended, then I would be interested again. All right, I think this thing. Oh, that would be why. Let's see if this wants to move up a little bit more. But I think this thing is getting pretty top heavy right now. Okay, I'm in at 66.01. Stop is, let's see, high. Oh, really? Oh, nice. Let's see if we can get this to pull back a little bit more. Let's see. Yeah, that's great. I didn't realize that my risk was actually that small. So I'm risking basically 30 bucks. Maybe a little bit more. Let me just get that in there. Now I'm going to let this thing work for me here a little bit. Very nice. If we can get down below 65.50. There we go. I really should be taking some off. So there we go. It's a winning trade now no matter what. Stop loss for the remaining 50 up there at 66.01. So I suppose those last 50 shares I could break even on. But yeah, let's see if this thing wants to roll over more. Again, I was risking right around $30, but I'm in a position now, like I was talking about earlier, where I have no idea how far down this thing wants to actually roll over. All right, I need to be 65.77. So now I'm making money regardless. So stop is at 65.51. So this is a great problem to have. I have no idea how far this is going to roll over. Or in other words, I have no idea how much money I'm going to make. But let's see if this thing wants to break down through 65. Again, my stop loss is at 65.51. So on those final 500 shares, it's still a good size amount of profit. I will move my stop loss down if this thing can break down through that round number of 65. But as right now, looking like it might want to bounce upwards, which would make sense given this thing is still technically within a good firm overall uptrend. But I mean, if this is what's clearly I nailed the top as of now, but is it the ultimate top? No, that might just be a top for a pullback. But excellent. What a great way to end a Friday. Oh, is this thing really going to get down through 65? I would love to be wrong here. I'm thinking that. Again, I need to see 65 on the offer. Can it get down through there? It's trying. If this thing can break 65, then I like the odds of it to pick up that much more downside momentum. But it's got to break down through 65. Can it do it? All right, well, I'm going to move my stop down regardless now. So all out there, fantastic, fantastic stuff on that trade. And yeah, I will take it. And now it is bouncing upwards. Well, I'm going to wrap things up, start the Memorial Day weekend early. So on that note, if you have served, I appreciate your service. And I'm well aware Memorial Day is for those that have, given the ultimate price. But regardless, even for those of you veterans out there, I thank you for your service and appreciate it. So thank you very much. And on that note, I mean, if you serve in the military and if you're interested in the class that I offer, the Trading Freedom Pathway, just reach out to me. I'd love to give you a military discount. So if you're interested in, like I said, my educational program, the Trading Freedom Pathway, and if you're still watching at this point in time, 25 minutes in, then yeah, I would love to say thank you by giving you a military discount. So just reach out to me and ask, just say, hey, I was watching the Friday video and you mentioned a discount, and like I said, would love to offer that up to you for watching. And you know what, in fact, if you're still watching regardless on a Friday when this thing is over 25 minutes, anybody just reach out to me. Say, hey, you know what? Put it this way. Reach out to me, say Memorial Day Friday video. And like I said, if you're actually still watching this and you're still with me 25 minutes in, I'll knock $100 off the Trading Freedom Pathway program. Sorry, I'm debating and kind of a little irritated because there went 65, but that's good old hindsight trading for you. But yeah, like I said, reach out to us if you're interested. And this will be good for the next week. So let's see, it's May 22nd right now. So by whatever 1 week, so May 29th it will be when that expires. But the military discount that's long lasting. So that's so that one doesn't expire. But if you just happen to be watching this one and you make it all the way to this point, then let us know, and that'll expire, like I said, on May 29th of 2020. But thank you for hanging out. If you enjoyed these videos, a few things here before I go. First off, hit that like button. That's a very efficient way to communicate to me. Hey, Clay, yeah, I like these live trade videos. Please keep making them. Also, leave a comment down below. Questions, comments, suggestions. I read all comments. I will reply to them. And then lastly, check out the channel as a whole. Lots of other content. And, just hopefully you decide to hit that red subscribe button and become a subscriber to the channel. But if you are interested, like I said, in that Trading Freedom Pathway program, that's just claytrader.com/take control, or you can just go to claytrader.com and it's right up at the top of the page, and you can check that out. But I appreciate you hanging out with me for this long on a Friday. And like I said, enjoy your Memorial Day weekends. And everybody take care and have a good weekend. And yeah, remember, you don't need to trade big. You don't need to have massive size in order to put some nice weekend spending cash in your pocket. So that's what I got here. I got myself basically $280 for Memorial Day weekend. I think I can make that go pretty far. Everybody take care. Have a good one. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.